Today is Sunday. It's February the 26th, 2023. My joy to come with Heart of a Shepherd's devotion for the day as we begin our second book of the Pentateuch. Now, that's the first 5 books of the Old Testament attributed to Moses as the author. Now, a little bit of an introduction and an exhortation to our study in the book of Exodus. Now, when you open your Bible to Exodus, you might want to ask, why? Why should I be interested in events that occurred 3,500 years ago? Understand that the date of the Exodus is generally dated around 1500 BC. Well, the Apostle Paul in the New Testament addressed that question in his first letter to believers in Corinth, where we read in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 at verse 1, "Brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud." Now, the cloud being that which protected the children of Israel by day as they wandered through the wilderness. He goes on and he says, "And all passed through the sea obviously being a reference to the Red Sea." And then he continues and says this in verse 6, "Now these things, the things that occurred and are recorded in the book of Exodus that are giving us a history of God's dealings with his people, these things were our example. They are our pattern. They give us something to be avoided, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things, as they, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes, also lusted." Now, you may not initially grasp the significance of Israel's trials in Egypt or her troubles during her sojourn in the wilderness. And yet the experiences of the 12 tribes of Israel that are recorded in the book of Exodus provide believers with an excellent study of the importance of our faith and trusting God. Now, understand that Israel's failures as a nation and people invited God's judgment, and they serve as a warning to you and to me. And that is that we should trust God and avoid the sins and the lusts that inevitably invite his judgment. The book of Exodus is more than a history book. It allows us to consider God's character in his dealings with Israel, and it reminds us that he is loving, long-suffering, holy, just, gracious, and faithful. I hope you'll follow our study in the book of Exodus. And to you, I invite you and I say, let the journey begin. God bless you. Thank you for joining me. A second video devotional will follow this for this first day in the book of Exodus. God bless. Bye-bye.